Welcome everyone to another episode of The Definitive Crusade. I'm your host, Johnny the Machine Hughes. Joining me this week for this record-breaking week, we have, across the small pond, we have Tracy. Tracy, how's it going?
I am all good, darling. Quite excited about this week.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And then across the large pond, we have Freya. Freya, how's it going?
It's going.
Are you also quite excited this week?
No, not particularly.
Or do you?
I have some exciting things later on in the year, but not this week.
All right. Okay. So we'll start off at the top and work our way down. This week sees Detective Comics 1000. Now, before we get into the ifs and buts and what we liked and what we don't like, can we just clarify one thing, first of all? Why is this such a big deal? I mean, why are we celebrating the 973rd appearance of Batman?
I don't know. Why do we celebrate that many appearances of Superman?
Well, the thing is, it's like, surely 1027 is the big one, right? That would be 1,000 issues of, yeah?
Because money.
And if you talk about money, there's 33 covers for this book, each retailing from $9.99. So that's from. So some of those rare variants that are 1 in 100 and all that sort of malarkey, they'll be like crazy prices. But hey ho,
money.
Are we doing
that
the
should be the theme song this week.
Yeah, we're doing the musical episode this time. Is that what we're saying? Yeah. One book more. All right, okay. Right, so who would like to start us off on Detective 1000? Tracy. No one jumped in, so, you know.
Okay. Like you said, it was supposed to be this amazing, the 1000, and it was nothing. It was boring. Some of the stories inside it were fun. I liked the different artwork. Not all of it was great. There was certain pictures of Robin and that looked like he was this kind of sticker just stuck in the background. There was so many things wrong with it that I was thinking, guys, you put so much money into this. Why didn't you check everything before you put it out?
All right, good, fair shout.
But there is a funny time. I think it's in. I'm not sure if it's in the one of the covers or not. But there's Nightwing is in the background. He's very small with Alfred. It's in one of the front covers. But he's eating, and I'm just thinking that's how I feel when I'm reading this. I'm just in the background eating my burrito, thinking, "Okay, Batman, off you go."
All right. Do you have a favorite story?
Nope.
Okay. I'm glad to see you put all this effort into this then. Okay, right.
I read it, and as I said, I like that there's different artwork, but none of it's new.
Yeah, that's a shout.
There's no real new stories. You know what I mean? You found this hidden thing. What are you doing, Hawkman? What are you staring at, Batman? Oh, stop it.
The thing is, it's not supposed to be a new thing, is it? This is a celebration of everything that's going on in Batman. So it's kind of, I don't think it's supposed to be like reshaping the wheel or anything like that. It's not creating a world.
It's like here's a recap of everything that you know about Batman.
Yeah, a little bit like that. Frey, do you agree with Tracy?
Oh, we've lost her.
No, not really. Well, I mean, yes and no. I agree that there's nothing really new in these stories. However, going into this, I just kind of felt like what you said, Johnny, that this is more of like a celebration of Batman. So let's just have a recap of different types of Batman through the years, kind of vibe is what I got. And we even have like the horrible artwork version Batman. So we got a little bit of everything. And I was charmed by a lot of the stories. Like, I liked a couple of them. I disliked a couple of them. And you can probably figure out which ones they were, because Catwoman.
Yes.
Outfit's horrible. But I always do like when they go back and they throw out like the old school costumes, especially Catwoman's old school costumes. But I just reminisce. I like reminiscing. But other than that, I'm not gonna be buying like every single covered issue of this book. It's not gonna happen. I love Batman, but my wallet does not love Batman that much. So I'll stick with one.
All right, okay.
I will say though, I did quite enjoy Old Man Batman electrocuting.
Shout.
Yeah, that's
So-
I loved it.
So let's give some credit where credit's due. So this book is written by a wealth of people. So you've got Peter Tomasi, you've got Brian Michael Bendis, Paul Dini's in there doing yet another Harley vibe. Warren Ellis with his warehouse gig. You've got Jeff Johns working with Kelly Jones. Tom King's in there. Denny O'Neil, Christopher Priest, Kevin Smith, Scott Snyder. Yeah, excellent. Art-wise, you've got Doug Mank, Neil Adams, whose art hasn't changed since 1972. Greg Capullo. Tony S. Daniels. It's all right. Tony S. Daniels with some help from Joelle Jones. Steve Epting. Kelly Jones, who I mentioned, working with Jeff Johns. Andy Kubert. Alex Maleev. Dustin Nguyen. I've probably said that wrong. Sorry. And you've got some help there, of course, with Scott Williams. And where there's a Scott Williams, there is always a Jim Lee. So there's a fair few superstar writer artists on this book. What did you all think of The Arkham Knight? We'll go there.
Oh, God, we're terrible people.
It's fine. See, my thoughts on The Arkham Knight is I don't understand the point yet. And that's because we've seen violent versions of Batman before, whether it be Asbats, whether it be the Red Hood, or whether it was the Grim Knight last time we looked at comic books. So there's always that ultra-violent version of Batman. There's a whole Twitter war kicking off at the minute that Batman doesn't kill.
Bullshit.
Well, depends on your medium, I guess. But I guess this is kind of like that through. I think they're trying to follow that Action Comics vibe, you know, how they created like another monster to kill Krypton. You know, so Action Comics hit 1,000, great. And for those first 999 issues of Action Comics, it's Brainiac that destroyed Krypton. On issue 1,000, actually it isn't. You know, it's somebody else. So I don't know if they're trying to give that some sort of resonance to Batman. I'm not sure he needs it. I don't know. But I agree with you. It's interesting seeing the different takes of the character. I would have liked to see more Dick Spang type stuff. You know, some of like the really cheesy like 30s, 40s stuff rather than some of the stuff we did see. But and again, like Freya said, I'm only going to be buying one issue of this book. I'll have a flip through, pick my favorite cover, and that's kind of how it's going to go. I'm not overly that fussed about it, but obviously check out your local store for all those different variants that are out there. While we are talking Detective Comics, Tracy, you were there. Freya, did you manage to have a listen to the Scott Snyder interview over on Outside the Panels and TDC Brave and the Bold podcast?
No, unfortunately, I did not, and I should.
Yes, you should.
Yeah, you should listen to it. It's great. So how do you listen to your podcasts, Freya? Just as a matter of interest, do you listen? Is it through the website? Is it through Apple? Or is it what's your modus operandi?
Well, to be honest, it really depends on what I'm doing. Sometimes I have it on the website, and sometimes I use Spotify, and other times I use other mediums. So it just really depends.
Well, there's this new app out right now. It's called Podcoin, and it actually pays you to listen to the shows. So for all the listeners out there who like all the range of the UCPN shows, it's an opportunity that you download the app for your iPhone or for your Android device. You get to listen to your podcast in the comfort of your own headphones. And if you use the code of UC Capes, you will get 300 credits, which will go towards a gift card. Now, every time you use Podcoin, you get these credits. So you are essentially getting paid to listen to your favorite shows. I wish we got paid for doing the damn things, but that's a different.
It's the joy of talking to people that matters. It's not about the money.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. So, guys, if you are listening and you'd like to listen on the move, it's an opportunity. Download the Podcoin app from your Google Play through your Apple Store. It is free of charge. You essentially you get coin for listening to your podcasts. Use the UC Kips tag to get your incentive. Have a listen. All the quality shows are on there. Okay. There you go.
Mhm.
Cool. Excellent.
Interesting.
I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to give it because, you can use the money to charity, you can get Starbucks vouchers, and I'm all for free coffee. So,
I was about to say, I'm all about the free coffee. I am all over that life.
All right. Okay. So we've moved from Detective Comics 1000, which is kind of like the granddaddy of the comic books this week. Now let's go back to the start. Or should I say restart? It's Dial H for Heroes. Now, I will admit that this is a book that escaped my notice back in the 70s when it was kicking around the first time around. But Tracy, I believe this is your bag. Is that right?
Well, it's not normally my bag.
Yeah. Whatever.
You know what I'm like. I like looking at the weird, obscure, different things. I don't want to be mainstream. I'm a bit of a strange, odd person like that.
I can say so much of that.
But you know what I mean? They're monster trucks, man. It makes me happy. Basically, they're rebranding this, this open letter to Superman saving this child's life, and that he never got to get that thrill again, and then all of a sudden this mystical phone box like Bill and Ted shows out of nowhere, and it's great. It's really quirky, it's different, it's not everybody's bag, it's definitely not mainstream. I like it when all the heroes have the number and then the H starts flashing on their foreheads. That makes me happy. It's kind of got a Red Dwarf vibe going on there. I enjoy that. It's not, it's not anything you have to sit and think about. It's just an easy read.
Freya, save me from this insanity, please.
Okay, so
Okay, I love it when she starts that.
I knew I could count on Freya. Go on.
okay. I'm going to start with positives because I like to do that. So let's be real. Art-wise, not bad. I enjoyed it. The whole Mayo truck thing.
Yeah, the Mayo.
I enjoyed the Mayo truck because I know people who put mayo on everything, and it's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life.
Mayo fries.
So, makes me want to vomit. But people like mayo. I get it.
What about garlic mayo? Is that all right?
Just no. Just stop.
Cheese and garlic chips. Yes, lad.
Done the kebab with garlic sauce?
Okay. I will quit.
Maybe that's a European thing.
Yeah, you guys, I don't know. It's not an American thing. I know that for sure. Jeez. We do ketchup and hot sauce on everything. But, yeah, no, just, yeah. But other than that, okay, those are the good things. Oh, I did like the girl Summer, I guess her name was. Yeah. I liked her. I'll give her props. I like her. But okay. Now, into the whole fact that I really just wanted to drink the entire time I was reading this book because it was painful for me to read this thing. I knew about this character before. I knew what it was going to be like while reading it, and I really didn't want to read it.
All right. I'm not sorry.
It pains me to read this. It really is just mind-numbing, but it's fun. But it's stupid. Just throw that word out there. It is dumb. Another thing I enjoyed Alfred having the 4 on his forehead.
Yes, sir. You told me to call you when this happened again.
Sir, help me. Yeah. Just I don't want to read anymore though. That one I have to be heavily intoxicated. Again. Yeah, well, I have to be intoxicated if I read it again.
I think that this is going to go down with a very unique dynamic of people who are, pretty happy and laid back.
Well, this
Chill.
this is supposed to be kind of like a young adult book, and we're advocating that people get stoned and drunk to read it. What is it we're actually telling the young people of the world? Just so.
Just some things make life better.
Don't drink, children. Not until
Yeah, don't do
you're old
drugs.
enough.
Drugs
Yeah,
are bad.
Don't do drugs. Stay in
Yeah.
school.
Stay in
All
school.
that
Just
stuff.
say no.
Don't be like me.
I don't drink. I'm good.
Yeah, I didn't ditch school at all.
No.
I'm not gonna
Just
lie.
read comics and be happy.
I'm not gonna lie. I drink. It's fine.
It's
okay
alright.
with it. I'm okay with that. All right. So stats. Dial H for Hero, written by Sam Humphries, art by Joe Quinones. Is that how you pronounce that? Letters by Dave Sharp or David Sharp. I've got to say that I like Sam Humphries. I think he's a decent writer. Remember when he used to write Green Lanterns? Back when Jessica Cruz was interesting before she got sidelined on Justice League Odyssey. So I've got some time for Humphries. And I was all right with the book. I enjoyed the Mayo truck. I enjoyed the servitude to the uncle. I enjoyed Summer kicking around, and you just knew she was going to be a badass. Now that I look at the book again a second time, I'm just going to call her Little Tracy instead of Summer, and then it'll be fine.
Thank you.
You're welcome. But as soon as the monster truck dude turned up, I was like, man, this looks like a 90s book. I was like, I am putting this book down. I warp sped through this book quicker than the Enterprise trying to get away from a wormhole. It
Oh
was
my
like,
God.
I was like, flip, 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 flip. Let me get to the end. Yeah, it was kind of cool with the different heroes with the H's on the heads and stuff. And yeah, the cynic in me was saying, where does this fit in comic book continuity? It's not supposed to fit. It's just a bit of daft. Enjoy it for what it is, I guess.
Just a bit of fun, Johnny.
Well, a bit is a little bit extreme. The art reminds me of a little bit like Babs Tarr, you know, when she was on Batgirl for a bit.
But yeah, that's what it reminds me of, definitely.
The book's not aimed at me, and that's no fault of anyone in particular. And I'm glad that DC are trying to go for different audiences. I guess the book's kind of a wish fulfillment type of thing. But I've got to ask one question, all right? If you could dial H for hero, you'd always want to call Batman, right? So what's the point of all the other heroes?
I wouldn't be calling Batman.
No,
Oh, here
I'd
we
call
go then.
Dick.
So there's a question then. All right, ladies, who would you call? Freya takes it. Who would you call? Who would be your hero? Let me guess. Red Hood.
just so I can kill him. No. Surprise. I would probably call Dick Grayson, but probably not for the reasons that
Oh, here we go.
It's for that booty.
50
Guess
Shades of
lightweight,
Freya.
shake it.
Freya, keep it clean, thank you.
Okay, I'm sorry. Hey, he's already stripped once in a comic. Do it again.
Please.
What rhymes with Rick again? Let's think. All right, okay. Tracy, who would you call?
Have a
Oh, I
guess.
know yours as well. John Constantine.
Yes,
Right.
it is. Of
Yeah.
course it is. Who else would I ring?
Yeah.
My man.
You know, these are heroes, not booty calls. That's the idea. You know, it's like supposed to save the world, not, you know.
He totally would.
Yeah.
Are you really say you're not going to call Black Canary or Zatanna?
Exactly, or both.
Well, since you said it like that.
We know.
This conversation's gone a little bit like odd, but never mind.
A young adults book where we're advocating drinking, smoking, and having booty calls.
There you
Oh
go.
yeah. Sorry, everybody who's listening.
Yeah.
We don't mean any of this. We're all it's all in jest. Yeah.
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 Sure.
Actually silent, yeah.
Yeah.
No comment. All right, okay. so kind of a mixed bag for Dial H. Okay. So next up is well, we're down a person, those people that would listen a lot. We're down Josh. This is Josh's pick. The audio guy is going to go ballistic that we're down a person.
I know, right? But he's such a dick.
The audio guy, if there's not 4 people, he does one. He's like a crazy guy. He'll be putting
Yeah.
stuff in there.
He does. And then he likes to like chop things the wrong way, make it sound crazy.
Man, it's bonkers. The audio guy. Damn you. All right. So, in memory of Josh, Flash 67, Freya, what did you think?
Okay, so but story-wise, I kind of enjoyed it, ish. I was kind of, I mean, I like Barry, I really do. Iris, I don't know, lately she's been hit and miss with me, so I'm kind of glad she's not there. I did enjoy how at the beginning you deal with a cult, and then the rest of the time it's like you're stuck in a cult. So I did really enjoy that whole aspect. I also really enjoy how like the cult leader looks like Jafar from like Aladdin with like
Oh my god, yes he does.
he even has like the squiggly dagger. I don't know what they're called, but even the dagger is the same. It's like, oh god, it's just gonna bother me the entire time. I did also enjoy how he wanted to be taken to Arkham instead of Central City because everyone was too happy and it was freaking him out.
Yeah,
Funny.
nobody likes to be
Everything's really-
happy.
Yeah, I'd be creeped out too. But like, please just kill me or take me somewhere else. I don't care. Banish me to like the Shadow Realm or whatever. But other than that, art wise, I liked it better than some of the previous art styles in the Flash books. Because I can tell who's who and they have actual facial structure and whatnot. But some panels though, there's so little detail that it seems like it just went unfinished and no one noticed it until it was printed. There's like some panels where it's just basically an outline of Flash with colors and no detail whatsoever, and that really, really bothers me because it's kind of the focal point of the panel, and it looks unfinished, and it bothers me. It bothers me more than people not having faces in the background, because it's a foreground character. Please give him some details, something, not just a red splash.
Is this
filled
not?
in.
Is this not? Is this not the Speed Force in action? Is that not?
No,
Is that not what they're trying to go for? Maybe.
because it was on a panel where he was stopped. Like, you still had the lightning around him, but he had stopped at this point, and it's just literally an outline of Flash, and then it looks like they used MS Paint and just filled it in with red. And it's the only panel in the book that is like this, and it's driving me insane because it just, like I said, it seems like it was unfinished and no one picked up on it.
Is this the one like it's on page 4 or 5 or something like that?
On page 16.
On
Yeah,
16. Oh, well, because there's the other one where he's standing on.
Yeah, I've seen the one on page 16 you're talking about. He's just finished running, hasn't he? He's kind of like coming to a stop. And he's like, I can still feel the frequencies trail, but it dies here. I don't know if it's supposed to be the motion of his Speed Force aura catching up to. I get where you're coming from because the red is a different shade of red completely to the rest of the book.
Yeah.
It's a really good spot.
Yeah, and like the other one.
Page 5, there's one similar to that as well.
Yeah, but at least in that one, it has like the dashy lines through it. I don't know what that's called in the art world, where it shows movement, and so that's why he's blurred. But this one, there is no showing of movement. It's just literally him stopping and then just nothing. There's there's nothing in it, and it really bothers me. It hurts to look at.
I think it's really hard to show the Flash in constant motion all the time in a comic book. And when we get to Heroes, you'll hear me say something completely which allies with that. But I mean, the character's based on speed, so it's kind of really hard for artists to keep that pardon the pun momentum going, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a fair point that you make, an absolutely fair point.
But it would have been fine if it was okay. It wouldn't have been fine if it was throughout the book. But it's just the fact that it's just this one panel, one panel through the entire book, and everything else is fine. It's just this one, and I can't. I'm done. I'm done with my review. I can't.
Tracy, what do you
Yeah.
think? Oh, here we go. Tracy, what did you think of Flash 67?
It was like, oh, he's pissed off and everybody's happy, and everybody's happy because they're under some kind of spell, and you're one banging her head while she's crying, but she's be happy, Barry. Oh, it pissed me off. It really did. Like, I was like, I can't believe I'm reading this bullshit. Oh, here's my boyfriend.
Whoa,
Who cares?
Back up.
I'm sorry.
You can't turn around and say Dial H for Hero was great and then call the Flash utter bullshit. It's
I didn't say it was great. I said I enjoyed it. There's a difference.
It's like, oh, how man. It's like, oh, Detective Comics, there's nothing new, but Flash, that's bullshit because people want to be happy.
It's bullshit.
You would jump on that bolt. Just be happy. Just smile.
It's just like no, but seriously, you know what I mean? Oh, it's like the whole that just annoyed me. I'm sorry. Like the artwork was okay. Those like Frey caught that panel on 16. I thought the panel on page 4 was ridiculous. It was like, come on, put some effort in. You know, and then the last page, and they're all like creeping in, and I'm like, be happy, Barry, like some zombie apocalypse. It's just like, have we just fallen into, you know, the Walking Dead, but like for Happyville? I don't know.
Gonna be honest, it's still better than Walking Dead lately.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just didn't do it for me. I'm sorry.
All right. Okay. So credit time, where I can get to destroy names. Written by Josh Williamson, art by Scott Collins with a K. Colors by Luis Guerrero, and letters by Steve Wantons. Check that out. Did I get them all right? I think I did.
I think you did.
Yeah, cool. I must be getting better at this. So I'm not a big regular Flash reader, so I appreciated the little bits of catch up that were thrown in the monologue. That said, I did read The Price, which was a better read than this. Williamson can impress with his writing at times. I am intrigued by the idea that Barry's actually slowing down. The idea with the trickster being involved. I'm not really fussed about the villain of the piece because I know it's a superhero comic, so generally speaking, until later this year with DC Year of the Villains, for the time being at least, the heroes are going to win, so that's fine. But the whole idea of him slowing down, it's interesting. It's been hinted at before because the Slow Force, or whatever it was called, was released out in Justice League when they tried to break the Source Wall. So it's interesting that they're continuing on with that vibe. The art by Collins kind of freaked me out. I'm going to be honest. I thought, apart from the panel that Freya picked out, I thought a lot of it was really detail heavy, which kind of slowed the reading of the book. And it sounds daft, but I want my Flash book to be quite pacey because that's his power. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So having to kind of slow down and feel like I'm getting dragged through the story rather than flowing did kind of put me off a little bit. It's not the worst book I've read. It's, you know, as I say, I'm not a big Flash reader, so for me, getting me to read a Flash issue that's not a Batman crossover is a pretty good call. I think Flash fans will enjoy it because that's continuation of what's going on with Iris. Not Irish. That's you, isn't it, Tracy?
That's me.
Continuation is going on with Iris, and of course, power thing. It is what it is. I've enjoyed Flash better. I think Flash, very much like Superman, sometimes needs somebody to bounce off. I don't like him just by himself. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But okay, right. So we have time. Should we? Dare we talk about him? Do we have to talk about? Right. Okay.
Maybe
So
just got to
this
talk about, hey, let's sit down and talk about our problems again.
again. All right, so let's put our happy smiley voices on. Okay. This week also sees the next issue of Heroes in Crisis, number 7, written by Tom King, art by Clay Mann with Travis Moore and Jorge Fornes. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
Colors by Tomei Mori and letters by Clayton Cowles. Freya, do you want to take this one first? You're going to say no.
Sure.
Yeah. Hey,
Thank you.
excellent. Go on then.
Okay.
Take it away.
Once again, I feel like absolutely nothing was explained or achieved in this book. And I still don't know what the heck's going on anywhere. So, artwork, good, great, fantastic. Love the artwork. Love Batgirl in this whole thing because she is, I don't know, her whole dynamic with Blue Beetle's great. Their whole conversation, how she just punches him in the face.
I love how she punches him in the face.
Right. See, I had a massive problem with the dialogue. I thought the dialogue was like awful. Like it's like the word "like" appears in everybody's dialogue speech pattern. It's like Batgirl. She says, "It's not normally like this. I work with like Batman or like Nightwing," and you're like, "What?" It's like the word appears so often in speech. It's like I've said it. Once you say it, it's a case. Once you say it once, it forms patterns in your thought pattern, and that's what's clearly happened here. Because so many characters, if you read back that book, count how many times somebody says, I don't know, Wally Flash says something akin to, "I hurt you. It's like love." It's what? What are you talking about? Like
It does feel like a teenager kind of wrote the dialogue.
It does, and I think Batgirl's too clever and too smart to be.
The Valley Girl?
Yeah, pretty much. She sounds like Penny. I've got it now. Penny from The Big Bang. You know, that whole sort of Valley Girl type of, that type of vibe. It's like, I'm like totally working with Batman. Oh, what? If she said totally, I'd be amazed. But
you're like, oh my god, this is so awesome.
Yeah. The
I'm
dialogue.
not even going to go with my Valley Girl because I won't slip back out of the Valley voice. So
for me, the dialogue was I enjoyed the idea of the banter. I just thought its execution was a little bit off for me. But carry on. Sorry, I interjected.
No, it's fine. Like I said, I'm thoroughly confused. Did Flash just create Poison Ivy? Because that also just happened. Like, I am completely. My brain just shuts off whenever I read this now because nothing makes sense. Nothing. I don't know what's going on. I'm getting zero answers. We're on book 7, and Harley's beating up Booster again, and we don't even know why.
I just think she fancies him.
Yeah, I mean, she did kind of have that face, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be made into a meme. And stop with the symbol swearing. Just do something else.
Oh my god.
Oh my god. Just swear if you're going to swear, or just make her scream non-coherent jibber jabber, whatever. Just don't use symbols. People make noises too. Just make her make a noise. You can do that.
Shoot your goddamn @ sign, quotation mark, exclamation mark, and sign.
Exactly. I really want them to just end this and give us all the answers because it makes no sense. At this point, I feel like I'm just reading a compilation of fan fictions online.
It does feel a bit fan fiction-y, doesn't it?
Yeah, no one really acts like themselves, to be perfectly honest. Just like you pointed out, Johnny, even though I do like the whole interaction and whatnot with Batgirl and Blue Beetle, they don't seem like themselves.
Not at all.
Not at all. And so it really does kind of feel like a fan fiction. Like, one of those ones where a group of fan fiction authors each write a different chapter for the same story. That's the writing style just kind of always feels off, and the characters, their personalities don't match what they actually are. Okay. Other than that, it's fantastic. It has been fantastic the entire time. Continue on with the artwork, but get some freaking pacing, answer questions, and end this damn thing because it's hurting at this point.
So the illusion of the things that are alluded to in this issue are that Wally has used the Speed Force to help generate a new Poison Ivy who had supplanted herself within her garden. At least that's what I took from it. I'm not Tom King, so I can't tell you for definite. The other thing is that it's implied that there's somebody's moving Wally through time. And the other thing is that the AI is in control of Sanctuary, which is why people see other people. It's why they've seen each other kill people. It's not them that's doing it. It's the AI versions. At least that's what I've taken from it so far. We'll see how it goes. Tracy, what did you think?
I was confused with the whole regrowing of Poison Ivy.
But aren't you pleased? The whole lot of Twitter is going to be pleased. Because, I mean, the whinge when she was dead, the whinge when she was on the cover in a overly sexualized position, the whinge because she's half naked in this book.
I have to say, I really like the image of her, though. Because
She's not half, she doesn't have any skin.
She's no skin on her, exactly. I have a diploma in anatomy and physiology. In another lifetime, I was a massage therapist, a body therapist. So I'm very interested when people start drawing things with anatomical correctness. And I like the muscle structure that they gave Ivy in that coming out of the rose petal moment. I think that was my favourite bit of the book, apart from Batgirl punching Blue Beetle in the face. And Ivy and Harley explaining that, superheroes talk when they fight, so I have to do something. So I'll just make up poems about killing you.
I'm sorry I stopped listening when you said you were a masseuse. Sorry, what?
Yeah, that's what they used to do in a past life.
No, but you make
good hands, Johnny. Good hands.
Oh my God.
We still your beating heart.
I know. The things that I could say, but
But we're not going to.
No. I mean, I was just using the Ivy thing as kind of like a bit of a joke more than anything. I don't have a problem with any of the facts that Ivy's been in at the moment. Talking about that cover, for example, that my issue was where was the left leg.
Yeah,
it disappeared. So that was kind of that was the thing that freaked me out. But I agree with Freya. There needs to be some sort of conclusion moving forward. The dialogue, as I said earlier, just didn't work for me. When I first read it and I glanced through it, I was like, oh yeah, it's really funny. Oh yeah, look, she's punched him out. Haha, it's really funny. And then I read it again, and it was painful. It was painful reading it.
It was totally so bad for your brain.
It was.
Oh my God.
And the thing that annoyed me the most was that Clayman's art is gorgeous.
Yeah.
Travis Moore's art isn't too bad.
Mm-hmm.
But Jorge Fornes, which is the Batman and the Flash pages together,
mm-hmm.
they look totally different to what's going on in the rest of the book.
They are completely different. And Batman looks horrendously underdrawn.
And the Flash looks like he's pedestrian. Now, if you can draw a Flash and make him look like he's just walking everywhere, that is a loss in my book.
Mm-hmm.
And it just doesn't look right. And it hurts even more when you see how well the two characters worked in the Price crossover, which was written by Josh Williamson. And here, they just don't work so well.
I just have this vision of, Batman being like Batgirl and punching him out. He'll just, as he's running past, he'll just put his arm out and catch him. I see that panel in my head. When I was reading it, I was like, come on, Batman, punch him in the face. Do it. You got this.
The other thing I'll say about this book is that it's supposed to be about mental health, and there are elements of mental health in there.
Yeah.
Wally West's 9-panel sessions, for example, which, by the way, Twitter fans, I saw this week somebody call it the Tom King style.
It's not.
It's not. Dave Gibbons did it first. Go and check out The Watchmen, the first one. Not the current one.
Let's start giving out people not reading Watchmen.
Uh,
Seriously, lads.
But about Watchmen, this book feels like it's been going on longer than the Doomsday Clock, and the Doomsday Clock
God,
ships.
you're totally right.
And Doomsday Clock ships late.
You're totally right.
It's sort of like, oh, just hurry up, man. Just get to the point. It started off really well. It's floundered a bit. I think this issue is probably the weakest one. And I thought that wasn't possible after the fill-in issue not so long ago, but there you go. Any other thoughts from anybody else?
No, I think we covered it quite well there.
Yeah.
No. Right, no. Are there any books that you're looking forward to coming out in the near future?
Too many to even mention.
Fraser, and Aaron, go on. What have you got? What are you looking forward to?
Well, I really want to finish. I don't even know when it's coming out anymore. I want Batman Damned 3
Ooh, that's a good shout.
because I'm really upset that they have to go and censor the book because, come on, it's the adult book. Don't people can't handle penis, then they shouldn't be.
Well, if it's penis you're missing, check out the Jason Fairbook pin-up of Batgirl in the Detective 1000. There's a strange anatomy point going on in that one. Go look it up.
Yeah. Anyway, moving on from that.
Sorry. I've just checked. Batman Damned #3 on the DC website is due out on May the 22nd.
Yeah, but it was supposed to have been out earlier, but I believe it got postponed. And rumor is that it's because they have to go and redo certain things or whatever. But because people freaked out about issue 1 and the Bat Dick. So
And the Bat Dick.
yeah, I didn't. It's not a big deal, people. It's an adult book.
It's like everybody has one when they're male.
50% of the population.
Some people have seen one. Some people have them, and some people don't have either of those options.
Some people like them. Some people don't.
Yeah.
Just like comic books. Some people have them. Some people don't. Some people like them. Some people don't.
Oh my! I can't believe we're comparing James Taylor to comic books.
Just saying, if you don't want to look at it, you don't have to buy it.
That's what
exactly.
Said.
Exactly. And that's why I said it, Johnny.
All right. Okay. So Batman Damned. Anything else?
I definitely want the run of the Justice League Dark to continue. See if they're going to get rid of Superwoman or Wonder Woman anytime soon.
Probably not.
They won't.
And I'm enjoying Naomi and Pearl. You know those the
Wonder Books.
The Wonder Books. They're interesting. They're different. They're not. Again, it's definitely not mainstream, but I like it.
Okay. I'm looking forward to Year of the Villain, just to see how that plays out. I would love the Source Wall stuff to come to an end because I think that's been a bit of a mishap. It's all right. It's all right having one book based around it, which is Justice League, I guess. But then you've got like Justice League Odyssey. You've got one of the Titans books always on about it. It gets to the point where it's becoming a little bit like, oh, what's up? We need something to do. We need some crazy bad guy or something to do. No, let's use the Source Wall energy. And you're like, oh, it's become a bit of a writer's trap, I feel. But other than that, I guess that's kind of where I'm at. See how things go. I'd like Batman to get back to solving proper crimes. Just like he used to. He's called Detective Comics for a reason. Other than that, that's it really. One other thought it's just popped into my head. You know, the Detective 1000. I'm a little bit disappointed that throughout the years that book's been going on, only Scott Snyder tried to involve other characters other than the Batman, because that book used to be an anthology book, and Batman used to get something like 4 pages at a time. So where's everybody else gone? But hey ho, I think DC have kind of done. Their history up like a kipper on that one. You know,
So their history like a kipper.
Yeah, well, I just think because Detective Comics it's not just Batman. It's
everybody.
Detective Comics almost got cancelled twice.
Yep.
When it was just Batman, so that tells you there needs to be something else about it. I think DC have kind of moved away from that because Batman is God, apparently.
I think everything is so Batman heavy though. You know, we've had this conversation many a time on this podcast about, you know, the amount of, you know, interconnection and interplay with Batman and other stories and other comics and other books, and it all refers back to a Batman. And I just think we're missing out.
Yeah, agreed.
No, I would really like for them to redo what they did a while ago. I would like to see Dick Grayson as Batman and Damian as Robin run, just for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because that would, I mean, Bruce doesn't have to be dead. Just, you know, have him actually get married to somebody and stuff.
And go on honeymoon.
I kind of agree with Freya, to be fair. When we talked to Scott Snyder, we talked about how his first run on Black Mirror in Detective Comics only works because it's Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Because Bruce Wayne's just at the top of his game all the time. I think there is a certain charm to what Freya is saying. Definitely having a less experienced Batman.
I would read that. I would read the shit out of it because I think you would get a more interesting story. I think that the story would be more relatable if that can be, you know, done with this medium. But I just think it would be a more relatable character because he's not perfect. He doesn't have everything together. And he is trying his best.
Yeah.
But not putting the pressure on the person underneath him. Like he got when he was the person underneath, you know?
Keep it clean.
Stop it, you!
So I was gonna say anything.
If that was going to be, if that was the case, who would become Nightwing?
Nightwing's just on hiatus.
Tim.
No. No.
We don't need Nightwing around. We could just, you know, Nightwing.
Batman and Robin, like.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Red Hood.
No Red Hood.
All the Red Hood.
Make Jason Todd Nightwing.
No, Jason is perfect as he is.
That would be another reason for me not to buy the book. Excellent. Good call. My wallet loves you so much, Freya. Thank you very much.
You.
All right, excellent. So there you go. There's another one in the bag. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you to Tracy and Freya for spending the time and going through this week's comic books. Don't forget to check out the Podcoin app. Download it, get your incentive, get your 300 coins. Use them as you wish.
Scott Snyder talking to us about amazing things.
Yeah. Spoilers for the event later this year. Go check it out. You'll be able to hear it on the UCPN. Also, don't forget to check out your other podcasts, including OTP, the Definitive,
the Dynamic Convergence.
I keep forgetting
yours.
Why do you
keep forgetting it?
I don't know, because it's the same letters. The Dynamic Convergence, Flipside Focus, Sideways Scrollers, and No Prize Podcast. All right, this is the Machine Use. Go on. Sorry.
I was just say for our listeners, what was their little code that they put in for the 300 coins?
The code was UC Capes.
There you go.
So U for uniform, C for Charlie, and then the word capes.
Capes.
Right? Capes. To be sure.
To be sure. 33 and a third. What else do you want me to say, Johnny?
300.
300.
All right. Okay, so there you go. Thanks for Freya for pointing that out. Appreciate that. Okay, so this is me saying see ya.
Bye.